Okay, let's dive right into this. Picture yourself 12 months into your company's AI transformation. You are standing in front of the corporate board. The CEO, the CFO, the head of security, they're all staring right at you. And listen, they do not want to know how to write a clever prompt. They want to know the hard facts. Was our AI investment actually worth it? How secure is all of this stuff? And what is our strategic roadmap going forward? In this explainer, we're diving deep into the Gosal Enterprise case study to uncover the strategic layer that separates a casual AI user from a true AI transformation leader. This is the exact boardroom blueprint we need to explore, which is absolutely crucial if you're gearing up for the AB 731 exam.
Here is a quick look at our executive agenda for today. We'll be unpacking 5 critical areas: the AI business case, zero trust security, the build, buy, extend framework, navigating AI maturity stages, and finally, data types and responsibility. Let's get right into it.
Starting off with Section 1, the AI business case. So imagine your CFO asks that first incredibly blunt boardroom question. We've spent a ton of money on AI licenses, infrastructure, and training. What did we actually get back? Well, the AI ROI formula gives us the answer. It's the value generated minus the total investment cost divided by that total investment cost multiplied by 100. Pretty standard, right? But the devil is absolutely in the details of those costs. Your total investment isn't just the software license. Actually, scratch that. It's never just the license. It includes the infrastructure, the development effort, the training, the whole shebang. But here is a truly fascinating detail from the source material about generative AI specifically. The primary cost driver is token consumption. Both the prompt you send in and the response you get back are counted and billed. That means a long, rambling prompt literally costs the business more money. So prompt optimization, it's not just a nice to have, it's a direct cost reduction strategy.
Let's ground this with a real metric. Looking at the first dimension of value, productivity, the numbers from Gosal Enterprises are just wild. Their HR team used to spend about 4 hours every single day answering the exact same repetitive employee questions. By using Copilot Studio to build an AI chatbot, that daily workload dropped by an astonishing 80%. I mean, 80%. That is a massive amount of reclaimed time that translates directly into salary cost savings, or, even better, allows those folks to step up and do much higher value work.
But AI isn't just about saving time, right? It's about making money. That is our next dimension, direct revenue impact. Colsal used generative AI to crank out descriptions for 10,000 products in their online catalog that previously had absolutely nothing. Because products with detailed descriptions convert at a significantly higher rate, Colsal saw a 12% bump in their online catalog conversion rate in just the first quarter. That is a hard, undeniable revenue metric driven entirely by AI.
Now, what's crucial to pull from this is exactly how AI delivers that value. It comes down to 2 separate concepts: automation and scalability. Automation is basically taking the human out of the loop for routine stuff, like having an AI extract data from an invoice, removing the manual effort. But scalability? That is even more powerful. You see, traditional business growth usually means proportional headcount growth. If you want to handle twice the customer inquiries, you kind of need twice the staff. AI completely breaks that link. An AI assistant can handle 500 queries a day. And as the company explodes in growth, it can seamlessly handle 5,000 queries a day without you needing to multiply your HR headcount by 10. It's a real game changer.
Moving right along to Section 2, Zero Trust Security Architecture.
So once the CFO is smiling, the head of security is going to step in with their main concern. AI systems operate at massive speed and massive scale. How on earth do we lock these systems down so they don't accidentally expose sensitive corporate data? The answer lies in the zero trust security model. In the old days, we just assumed anything inside the corporate network was safe. Zero trust completely rejects that. The 3 core pillars here are verify explicitly, use least privilege, and assume breach. What really stands out here is how verify explicitly applies to AI. Every single request an AI system makes to access your data must be fully authenticated and verified based on identity, location, and service. You literally cannot just assume a request is safe simply because the AI is an internal tool. No way.
And this brings up a super fascinating technical distinction. Humans and AI authenticate totally differently. For the humans who are configuring and managing the AI, we use multi-factor authentication, or MFA, getting a code on your phone. But an AI service obviously doesn't have a smartphone to check a text message. So instead, when an AI service needs to authenticate to access Azure resources, it uses service principals and managed identities. And then we use role-based access control, or RBAC, to make absolutely sure the AI only has the bare minimum permissions needed to do its job. That directly adheres to that least privilege pillar we just talked about.
Okay, Section 3, the Build, Buy, Extend framework.
As AI becomes popular internally, suddenly every single department is going to be knocking on IT's door, eagerly asking for their very own custom AI tool. The source outlines a strict strategic hierarchy to process these requests. First, buy. If there's a pre-built product out there like Microsoft 365 Copilot that does the job, just buy it. It gives you fast time to value with zero development. Now, if that covers, say, 80% of your need, but you really need custom data connections, you step down to Extend. This means using things like declarative agents or Copilot connectors to customize the platform without starting from scratch. And finally, if your use case is highly unique to your own proprietary data, like some super specific demand forecasting model, only then do you build a custom solution using platforms like Azure Machine Learning.
There's a quote from the material that really serves as the golden rule for all of this. Building when you could have bought or extended wastes investment and increases maintenance burden. It hits the nail right on the head. Custom development is incredibly expensive to build, and frankly, it's even more expensive to maintain over time. Adhering strictly to this buy, then extend, then build hierarchy protects the company's capital, its technical capability, and its development resources from being squandered.
All right, Section 4, Navigating AI Maturity Stages. So, when leadership asks that inevitable boardroom question, where do we actually stand on our overall AI journey, and what's our next logical step? Well, this model helps diagnose exactly that. Organizations generally pass through 3 distinct stages. Stage 1 is exploring or ad hoc. This is the Wild West. Employees are using personal AI accounts, there is zero central governance, and outcomes aren't even being measured. Stage 2 is optimizing. Here, you've deployed enterprise tools like Microsoft 365 Copilot, you have an actual governance council set up, and you are actively tracking ROI in specific departments. Finally, Stage 3 is transformational. At this stage, AI isn't just a cool productivity tool anymore. It is embedded directly into your core business model, creating a true proprietary competitive advantage. Knowing where you currently are dictates your very next step. If you're in Stage 1, your immediate goal isn't to build a custom machine learning model, it's to establish some governance and just get yourself to Stage 2.
And finally, Section 5, Data Types and Responsibility.
A successful AI deployment depends entirely on matching the correct AI tool to your underlying data type. It's absolutely crucial. Looking at how this breaks down in the source, if you have structured data, perfect rows and columns like sales records, your ideal solution is predictive AI using Azure Machine Learning. If you have semi-structured data, things like invoices or tax forms that have tags but variable content, you want Azure Document Intelligence. But if you have unstructured data, a massive pile of emails, meeting notes, PDFs, with absolutely no predefined format whatsoever, well, that is where generative AI truly shines. Choosing an AI approach before you actually understand your data type is a guaranteed recipe for failure.
And regardless of the tool you use, it all falls under governance. Interestingly, the official AB 731 guide explicitly points out 8 distinct responsible AI principles. It's not just the usual 6 you might hear thrown around. They are fairness, reliability, safety, privacy, security, inclusiveness, transparency, and accountability. When you're mapping out an AI transformation, these cannot just be lumped together into one big bucket. They have to be treated as separate, distinct governance concepts that each require their own different approaches.
In fact, the material makes a really crucial distinction here that is super easy to mix up. Reliability is not the same as safety. Reliability means the AI performs consistently and doesn't just crash on you. Safety means the AI actually prevents harm and doesn't output dangerous instructions. They are fundamentally different. Similarly, privacy is about respecting personal information and data minimization, whereas security is about the technical access controls, the encryption and authentication that protect the entire system from being hacked. Understanding these nuances is absolutely essential for solid risk management.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to think about this. When the board voted yes to Ghosal Enterprises' AI expansion, they didn't just vote for some cool new technology. They voted for a clear business strategy backed by security, measurable ROI, and rock-solid governance. The ultimate question for you is, can you step into that room and explain your AI strategy like a business leader, or are you still just talking about it as a technology project? Mastering these concepts is the key to driving real transformation. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.